Hello, my name is Frank Christensen and I'm the coordinator of officials for IFAF in Europe. This is the last of 6 training tapes dealing with forward progress. And today we're dealing specifically with sliding quarterbacks. This has become more and more relevant as more and more quarterbacks run with the ball and they don't want to get hit, so they slide feet first. And this poses a specific challenge for our wing officials to get this spot right. So we'll have a look at some situations and talk about the mechanics of how to get it right and the philosophy of how we want to rule these situations. But before we get to the game film, let's have a look at the rule book and the MOFO to see what they have to say on this topic.
In the rulebook, forward progress is defined in Rule 292. Forward progress is a term indicating the end of advancement by a ball carrier or airborne pass receiver of either team and applies to the position of the ball when it becomes dead by rule. In 513, forward progress, it says the most forward point of the ball when declared dead between the end lines shall be the determining point in measuring distance gained or lost by either team during a down. Exceptions: first one is Rule 851, which of course we all know deals with safeties. And the second one, when an airborne pass receiver of either team completes the catch inbounds after an opponent has driven him backwards and the ball is declared dead at the spot of the catch, the forward progress is where the player received the ball. In the MOFO, we go to 5-7 dealing with marking spots. In normal play, forward progress usually only needs to be marked to a tolerance of 1 foot. Since the ball is just less than 1 foot long, this means there are only 3 positions that a ball can be in between any pair of yard lines. A. With the nose, the most forward point of the ball on the forward yard line. B. With the middle of the ball midway between the 2 yard lines. And C. With the tail, the rearmost point of the ball on the back yard line. Note that in this system, the ball is never positioned spanning a line. And finally, officials need only mark forward progress to the nearest one of these points, except A. when the line to gain or goal line is concerned, in which case more accuracy is necessary, and B. after change of possession, a start of a new series, in which case the dead ball spot should always be marked with the nose of the ball on the nearest yard mark. And the when in doubt principles number 17 says, if the ball carrier is being held by only one player, the ball is still alive. If held by 2 or more, forward progress is stopped. Now, let's have a look at some game film. So we're going to look at some progress spots on a sliding quarterback, and there are really a number of aspects to remember in these situations. Number one is use your brain camera. So once he starts his slide, take a snapshot of that and where he is when that happens. So that's number one. The second part is how much contact do we allow by Team B after he slides. I think here we're perfectly fine. This guy tries to avoid the contact and go over the quarterback, and it's just as much the quarterback who initiates the contact by sliding. So I think we need a lot more than we have here. The third part is sometimes we get surprised that the quarterback is going to slide, so we don't really get the brain camera working at the right time, so we don't realize it until he actually is down with the knee or is actually physically down. So the trick that we use here, the philosophy is we take the spot where he went down and then we move it back 2 yards, and that is our progress spot. And that typically works fairly well. And the last part is that we really shouldn't, I know it's tough, but we shouldn't be surprised when the quarterback slides, because it should be part of our coverage of the play to see that well, this is not a running back, this is a quarterback running the ball, so the slide is a possibility. So we should be ready for it when the quarterback is running the ball, so that we don't get surprised. But when we do, and we don't get our brain camera out quickly enough, then take the knee and then subtract 2 yards. Here's another running quarterback, and we'll apply the same method. And we'll notice that right here, probably around the 50 is where our brain camera should take the snapshot. If we don't manage to do that, right around there, the 48 maybe, is where the quarterback is down. So if we take that instead and move it back to around the 50, we should be okay. Again, we're looking at the contact by the defense, which is fine. I don't see anything here that is enough for a personal foul. We do want something that could crack an egg, so to speak. And again, we should be ready for this, just because this is a quarterback running, not a running back. And as soon as he gets close to the contact, a lot of quarterbacks will do this, so we have to be ready with our brain camera and the snapshot. Here, I think there are maybe a couple of yards generous, and again, we don't want to give the quarterback too much. If we're going to err, we want to be stingy, because we're also we're telling the defense not to hit him, so we can't give him anything that he didn't deserve or earn. So if we have any doubts, we want to move him back, and to the 50, I think is a pretty good shot. Another quarterback scramble, and another opportunity for us to use our principles here. So brain cam right around there, maybe the 49 is where he starts. I mean, it's not where the knee is down, it's where he starts his slide, where we should have progress stopped. And right there is where he's down. So pretty much 2 yards back from there gets us back to the 49 again, which is where his slide started. And then we look at the contact by Team B. Not really enough there to crack an egg or to cause an unsportsman or a personal foul. And again, we shouldn't really be surprised. And I think the Wings here do a fairly good job, especially when it's an improvised scramble, especially up the middle, where he's not going to engage a linebacker. I mean, his only chance here is to do a slide, so we shouldn't be surprised that he ends up sliding the ball. And here I think we could, take him where he goes down, and then go back a couple of yards. We'll end up back around the 49-yard line. In this last example, the sliding quarterback is very close to the line to gain. I think the officials here do an excellent job of making him short of that line to gain. And again, we're looking at the same things. We're getting ready to deploy our brain cam, which is probably around here, maybe even a yard shorter, at the 29, where the line to gain is around the 27. And there the knee is down at the 27, 2 yards back puts us at the 29. Here there is no contact at all by the defense, so we're off the hook there. But again, and even with this type of a quarterback who likes to run the ball, it should be part of our wing mechanic that we're looking, just like if the runner gets close to the sideline, we're getting ready for the out of bounds coverage, we're getting ready for clock management. Here, when we have a quarterback running, we have to be ready for a potential slide, and especially one like this where you can see that there's nowhere for him to go and he's getting ready to go down. We have to be ready to look at where the slide starts. And that was this training tape. I hope it made sense, and I hope you found something you can use on the field.